What about now? Can you hear me now? Hello? Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me now? Is the sound good now? Yeah, Sam, can you hear me now? Is the sound good? Okay, that's good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. Yes, like I was saying, we have a lot to share today. And if you guys have questions, I really want you to start typing your question right now, because it's going to be, it could work like, question and answer. Yes. So we're going to talk about the business side and also the individual side of this law. So just as an individual, what can you learn about this law? Okay. And as a professional, a business owner, self-employed, what can you get out of this? This is basically what it means. Okay. Yeah, there is a lot that you need to know. And what precaution can you take now? Like, what can you do now to be able to take advantage on the situation? This is basically what it means. Okay. So I want both of you guys, all of you guys, to start typing your question that you would like me to answer by the end of this live. This is what I want to do. But before, of course, I'm going to try to let you know what I have that I really want to share with you right now. Okay. So we're going to see what's the job benefits. Like, we know that people with unemployment were worrying, and some states were actually taking some precaution to extend the unemployment, but the federal actually haven't expanded the unemployment yet. That is why we're going to share today, to see what you need to expect if you are just a W-2 worker and your unemployment, is scheduled to end by the end of this month, and what do you have to do? So basically, this is why we're going to share what is available for you if you are working and you are worrying about your unemployment being running out. Okay, don't know why I could be on the line. Let's see coming. So yes, so that is what we're going to share. We're going to share about basically what you have to do right now is, if you're a business owner, what you have to do now to be ready for all of those opportunities. We're going to talk about the EIDL advanced grants. Maybe some people are forgetting about the EIDL, what the EIDL advanced grant is. Okay, I'm going to let you know. It was the program that was given to people even though you were denied an application. So we're going to jump into it to see who is eligible. Okay, we're going to share again the implication of the tax of the EIDL forgiveness or PPP forgiveness on your taxes. Okay, we're going to share about those information. So so without further ado, I think we need to start. So yes, it's finally there. The new 900 billion is available now for grab. Basically, we have to take advantage of it. Okay, so what is included into that 900 billion stimulus deal? A lot of stuff are in there. We're going to talk about it. It contains the small business relief, right? That could be divided into the PPP, the EIDL, and also the EIDL grant, because the PPP is a grant, but the EIDL is a loan. But the EIDL itself also has a component which is a grant. That is what people were not aware of. Even when we were applying, the people didn't know that the EIDL, which is a loan, also had a component of a grant. So we're going to talk about those components. So the big law, what does it has? It has this new stimulus check to be given out to people, right? The new stimulus check. People have been asking, oh, okay, is the stimulus check coming? Is this not coming? So there's an extension on the unemployment, an additional fund, federal fund, to be issued to people as soon as next week. You guys will be receiving those. And they have this rental assistance. Okay, there's a rental assistance in the program, and also eviction memorandum I mean, it will be difficult now to for a lender to actually evict it, or for someone to actually be evicted, whether you are a renter or you are a homeowner unable to pay for your mortgage. It will be difficult to be evicted with this law, which is a continuation of what was already said in the previous law. I need to have explanation for those who live the building apartment, who live in the building apartment. That's good. Thank you. Thank you, Yaya. So, okay, how do we start? We're going to start with the stimulus check. Okay, so there is a new stimulus check which is available to any single resident living in America. Okay, this stimulus check, of course, what does it mean? It means it's a 600 new check to every person. But the 600 to every person will include another 600 for the dependent. Remember, last week or last time when on the first CARES Act, it was 1,200 for every single person and 500 for any single dependent. With this new law, they are giving us 600, okay, for any single taxpayer, another 600 for any dependent that you have. So the cash, the limitation is the same, which is actually $75,000. So if you are making up to $75,000, you will see your 600 start decreasing. Okay, you will see your 600 start decreasing. If you make, let's say, $80,000, it will decrease even more. If you make $90,000, it will decrease even more. When it reaches $99,000, it disappears. You don't receive nothing. Okay, this is what the law says. So if your income is $99,000, officially you will not receive no refund, no stimulus check. But the catch, or what 95% of taxpayers who are entitled to receive the money, they just don't know how to get those money back. And I have been running a live webinar on it. Okay, I have been running a live webinar since last week, and it will be running on next Sunday too, to show you guys, if you miss the first stimulus check because the income was too high or you didn't even know how to claim, if you missed it, what to do to recover that, to get those money back. Okay, so if your income was more than, you were above the threshold and you didn't receive the money, or you receive any less than $1,200, so what to do to get those money back? I have a webinar that will be going on this Sunday again to let you know. So the same thing will happen now. If your income is between $75,000 and $99,000, you will receive a smaller amount, or you will even receive nothing. Okay, same thing will apply. If you don't receive it, or you receive less than 600, you will need to contact me, or not even contact me. Just register for this webinar if you want to collect the full 600. So this was the portion of this law that concern any taxpayer. Okay, so if now there is a rental assistance. The rental assistance means that there will be a program out there. I'm not going to go into too much details now to how the rental assistance will work. I'm more talking about the cash implication of what we are doing here with this law. So yes, beside that, I'm going to talk now about the job benefit, because if you are a taxpayer, you collect it on the stimulus check, not the business owner, then maybe you're on the unemployment, right? If you are on the unemployment, the good thing is that the Congress will extend unemployment benefit to up to $300 per week. Okay, so you guys will receive another 300. It was 600 the first time. This time is going to be only 300. This is at the federal level, which is something, right? To me, it's something. It's better than nothing, right? The benefit we could begin as soon as December 27. Okay, so the benefits will start as soon as December 27. So by December 27, you could be able to see those benefits in your paycheck. Hey, I forgot. For the first, when talk about the stimulus check, those stimulus check could be ready by next week. So that is what has been said. So everybody is surprised, but that's what has been said yesterday and today. that those stimulus checks will be ready in your bank account as soon as next week. So by next week, the first people will be able to see those stimulus checks in their bank account. Of course, they're going to use the same way. If you receive the first stimulus check by bank account, by direct deposit, they will do the same thing. If you receive it by, by post, by mail, you receive the check by mail. So that is what I wanted to know. It's so quick, it's so expedited. I myself don't understand how fast this thing is going. So by next week, you will be able to start receiving the first stimulus check. By December 27, the extension of unemployment will be able to be out there, and it will run through March 14. So you guys have a lot of time for more unemployment. Okay. Now we have to talk about the relief for businesses. What is the relief for businesses? The relief for businesses is at 3 levels or 2.5 levels. Okay. The first level is what? The first level is that the PPP. The PPP was a program that was supposed to help business owners maintain their employees, right? That was the program that was supposed to be used for them. So they have like 284 billion, 284 new billion to help business owner to get stimulus check, to get PPP money. So in the PPP money, who is going to be eligible for PPP money? Everybody who didn't receive the EIDL, the PPP earlier, will be able to receive the PPP now. Okay. So if you forgot, you were not aware of it, you didn't believe that it was true. It was too good to be true that they're gonna give money to people. Now you have a chance to be able to apply again. Now, if you apply already on the first round, you still have the chance to apply again. That's a good thing. They didn't exclude the people who received the PPP on the first place. If you receive the PPP on the first time, you are still eligible for another PPP right now. But the only condition is that you have to really show the impact. You have to really show that you are being impacted by the COVID-19, which is basically simple by showing your financial statement. That is what I have been reminding, that you guys have to show that, on the first quarter, you were making this amount of money. On the second quarter, you were making this amount of money. If you are being impacted by more than 30%, then you will be eligible for another PPP money. If you married and have 3 children, how do I get to receive the stimulus check? If you are married and have 3 children, it means the married filing couple, that is 600 times 2. That is the couple receives 600 times 2. Now, for each children is another 600. So basically, you guys will receive 600 times 5. Okay? This is 6 times 5. You will figure out the amount, which is, I think, 3,000. All right? So that is basically what we receive, Mark Le Prince. So yes, if you are married, it will be 600 for you, 600 for your wife. That is 1,200. Now you have 600 for each of the children. You add up. So this is how you're going to figure out how much you will receive. Okay? And it doesn't matter. Okay, of course, if your income is too high, it's going to start decreasing. But again, I told you guys, the same law also told you how to do it, but they don't advise that. They don't advertise that, okay? Because they want people to just leave the money there. If you didn't receive the first money, you're supposed to receive it. Go and watch this webinar that will be going on, or register today or tomorrow on my Facebook page. Watch that Facebook page, that webinar that will show you how to collect all the stimulus check that you didn't receive, or someone who didn't receive his stimulus check because for whatever reason, whether it's a business owner or he makes too much money and we still need the 1,200 and the new 600, because if you miss the 1,200, you're going to miss the 600. That is 1,800, right? If you need those money, you will just need to watch that webinar. It doesn't cost you a fortune to watch a webinar and see what you have to do to collect all the money you think you are not entitled to. Okay? So we were talking about the PPP. So who is eligible for the PPP? If you have questions, just type the question on the comment section of this live. It'll be my pleasure to answer. So I was saying that the PPP, if you are new, if you receive the money already, and then you're not sure if you're going to receive again. By the way, even though you didn't receive it, you will still need to show that you are being impacted. Because you didn't receive last time, doesn't mean you were just going to walk in and say, oh, you know what, I need the money. No. On the first time, they were using UDA 2019 because they didn't have the data for 2020. Now they have the 2020 data. So they're actually talking about quarters to quarters. So they have to compare the first quarter, which is January to March, to the second quarter. That means April to, April, May, June. So they have to compare. They have to compare to see how much impact you have been facing, okay? They have to see how much you have been facing as an impact. If you cannot show that you have been impacted, there's no way you're going to receive the money, even though you didn't receive the money in the first place. That is what you have to know. And now, if you already received the money, they're telling you the same thing. You have to show that you have been severely impacted by the COVID-19. You showed it with your financial. So if you are an accountant, you are a business owner or a self-employed, because it doesn't matter what business you do, somebody will be like, okay, I'm just a driver. How do I get my financial statement? Yes, your financial statement is just a reconciliation of your income and your expenses. Every single accountant can do that, or you can even do that by yourself. You know how to, you go Google it, how to create a financial statement, and you figure out, you create your own financial statement month to month. That will show how much income you are making from January to, all this period. They will compare month to month, and they can also compare from the same quarter on 2019 to see how you are, how you are impacted. Because if you are really impacted, they will see that 2019 on the same quarter you are making more money than this quarter on 2020. Or we can compare the first quarter to the next quarter. Okay. Okay, so beside that, now if you receive the money on the PPP, I'm staying on the PPP. The PPP was a loan. It was actually a loan that was given to people, and that were also offered the possibility to make it a grant. Okay, if you make the money the grant, if you convert the money into a grant, what do you have to do right now? If you convert the money into a grant, the first thing you have to do is that you have to know that initially that money was supposed to be a free money, but the people implementing or apply trying to respect the law were trying to say that, okay, if it's a grant, then you will not take the deduction. That means it will not be tax deduction. You will not be able to take the deduction for the expense that you use the money to spend, okay, to spend the money on. That means they were saying that if you were able to make it a grant, that means it's a free money. They don't add it to your income. But at the same time, they were saying that if they don't add to your income, whatever you spend the money to, you spend the money on, if you spend the money for anything, those expenses are supposed to be business expense. They were saying that you cannot take the business expense. So now, the good thing is that you can also take those business expenses. That means there is no tax impact, no tax implication on the PPP, that you are able to make it forgivable. Okay, that is the good thing that you have to know if you are a business owner. So besides the PPP, what do you have to do? So this means that first thing to do, you have to work on making your PPP forgivable, so that you can take the full benefit of this law. Okay, try to make your PPP forgivable first before you think about even receiving the next round of PPP. Now you have the EIDL. The EIDL was a loan that was given to people with the maximum of, I think it was 2 million something. It was given to people as a loan, but it also had this portion of it, which is what? Which is the grant portion of the EIDL. And a lot of people didn't know about that. We were helping a lot of people to apply for it. When we apply, we tell them how much they will be eligible for, 25,000, 30,000, 45,000, 57,000, 90,000, 100,000. But then they will see like $1,000 into their bank account. And they will be surprised and call me, Russell, how come you told me I'm going to receive 45,000 and I'm only seeing 1,000 or 10,000 in my account? I will tell them, listen, this program actually has a grant portion of it. It means that if you apply, you have 10 employees, you will receive $10, $10,000, even though you are denied. So this is what it means. So a lot of people didn't apply because some people were even afraid of applying. So without knowing that, even though you are denied on this program, you will still receive the money. So what happened is that you're going to have to do the same thing, but the modification that has been said on this law, we don't know yet if they are going to really implement it. That is what is that on this advanced grants. What happened is that in the full application of the law, they were actually issuing 1,000 instead of 10,000 to business owner. Every single business owner who apply for the EIDL has to know this. The law was supposed to give people 1,000 only by applying, and that is what I has been advertising or letting business owner know since March, since the law was signed on March 27. I was telling people that apply, you receive 1,000, even though you're not approved. So a lot of people have applied, but then they were receiving only 1,000. That was done by the Treasury Reserve and the IRS. They decided they're only going to give 1,000 per employee. So if you have 5 employees, you will receive 5,000. If you have 2 employees, you will receive 2,000. If you have 1 employee, you will only receive 1,000. You are the only employee that you have. So what happened with this new law? The new law is trying to fix what was done. We are yet to see if they are going to apply it. They are saying that, okay, if you didn't receive the money, okay, they are saying that if you receive less than 1,000, less than 10,000, that means you apply for this program and you only receive 1,000 instead of 10,000. They are now saying that you will be able to collect the difference. So this is what you guys have to know and contact your tax professional or your accountant, the person who was helping you to get that, to follow up on this. So if you apply for the that is for those who apply. It doesn't matter whether you were eligible or no. And some people didn't even receive nothing because that fund had expired. Oh, by the way, out of the 284 billion for businesses, they have 20 billion only for the EIDL grant. So the EIDL advanced grant, it has 20 billion only for that. Okay, that means you apply and you receive the money. It doesn't matter whether you are eligible or no. Just by applying, you are eligible for this money. They have 20 billion for that. And they are saying that, this is the law again, they are saying that if you have applied and you didn't receive the full 10,000, you only receive 2,000 because you have said that you have 2 employees. Then you receive 2,000. You are supposed to receive the difference. That means you will receive 8,000 basically. So this is what you guys need to know. This is what you guys need to know. That's why I really want to emphasize. Okay, but now, so who will be eligible for those grants? Okay, you just need to have to be considered as a small business owner, the way the SBA consider you. You need to be a small business owner. You need to have any type of entity that makes you eligible, and it accept, like, you also have self-employed people, you have contractor, any type of business entity that you have. If you are those, then you will be eligible for this EIDL program. The only thing I need to add here before I answer to those other questions is that you need to pay attention that if you are still on the process to receive the EIDL, you have to call them. You have to call them and keep asking about the process, because the previous package is still there, and they are actually running again to get all of that away. So you have to call the SBA to let them know if there's anything else you have to do in order to receive your money, or even to receive your increase, because that if you are in the group that we create, by the way, we have a private Facebook group that we create only to help business owners to get those money, okay, to get those federal grant and also state and local grant as well. So basically, this is what you need to do. You need to keep calling them because they still have those money available for you. Okay, so the takeaway here is that you have 600 coming to everyone and 600 for any children. You have the 300 for unemployment. Okay, and you have an extension of the unemployment up to March 14, basically. So you can still stay home and keep having money, except that since the CARES Act was created, I have been explaining to you guys that there is also a way to stay home, do not apply for unemployment, but still getting paid by your company. Okay? Yeah, there's this provision within the CARES Act, and it hasn't expired. They didn't cancel that provision, so it's still there. So if you want to know, you don't want to stay home, you don't want to resign, but you are eligible. Okay, you fulfill all the requirements. What are the requirements? You go there to watch this webinar that I'm actually running on Sunday to show you guys how you can actually stay home and you don't apply for unemployment and you collect those unemployment. Or if you did not apply for unemployment, okay, there's a lot of people, every day people will call me to say, oh, I forgot to apply for unemployment. I still want to apply for unemployment now. If you were eligible for unemployment and you didn't get the unemployment, how to get those money you were supposed to receive for unemployment? I'm explaining those because this is 1.5 webinar explanation. I'm explaining to you guys how to do it, how to calculate how much you're supposed to get, and how to claim it. I'm explaining that on the webinar that will be going on Sunday. If you're interested, check on all of my posts on my Facebook page. You will see a link to the webinar, okay, to see all the CARES Act opportunity. Those are CARES Act tax opportunity. That was a provision that will allow you to actually, stay home and still get paid. You still consider as an employee, but you still get paid, okay? You want to know, you go and watch. So those are the takeaway. The last takeaway is that the EIDL grants, they call it advanced grant. The EIDL advanced grant is back. It's back on the new way. It's supposed to give you guys what you didn't collect it on the last time. So if you apply, you were denied. Even though you were denied, I think they should give you money now as soon as you apply for it. So if you apply late, they didn't have no more fund because the fund went out. They are giving 20 billion. Maybe after 1 month or 3 weeks, the 20 billion will expire because everybody is going to apply. They will not get enough money to keep going, fulfilling those requirements. So yes, if you apply, you didn't receive the money or you receive less than 10,000, you have to follow up. This is basically what it means. If you want to follow up, what to do to follow up? You join this PPP and EIDL group that we created. That means over there, everybody who is following up, you actually share the experience, what he is doing, and what I'm showing them to do to basically, collect what you're supposed to collect. The difference between 10,000 and what you actually receive on the first one, this is what you receive now, okay? So I'm not saying no more question here, and if I didn't forget anything, I will say just say thank you guys for being here. If you are new, you want to keep watching this great content, you can connect or register or subscribe to my YouTube channel, or just like or follow my page on Facebook. I'm also a tax and accounting specialist on helping salon owner and business owner in general to mitigate the effect on the tax on their business, and most likely to push their business to the next level of their growth by implementing accounting and tax strategy. Okay, so until then, see you tomorrow for the next one. Ciao.